All right, we're going to try this again, boys and girls. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Hopefully nobody's going outside when they're not supposed to be. I am wanted to do a couple of things for the instructors today. Talk a little bit about some tools that I use in classes. And if you don't have some of these tools, I can tell you how to get them. Right now, we don't sell the CERT guns that I'm going to show you, but we will be selling the Mantis X devices that I'm about to show you. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about how I use CERT guns and how I use Mantis X, or how I will use Mantis X because I just got mine, in classes to talk about improving students' fundamentals. Of course, there is no replacement for live fire, but some of these functions come pretty close. They certainly help you work on fundamentals and let you do it fairly safely inside the classroom setting. To keep live ammunition out of the classroom and all that great stuff. So without further ado, I want to talk a little bit about where to go. I want to talk a little bit about the CERT gun from Next Level Training. Hold on, switch over to video so you can see what the hell I am doing. So this is a replica of a Smith & Wesson M&P. It's what I carry for a full-size gun. I have a couple of others that I didn't bring into the room with me, and I will go grab in a moment, so there might be some dead air in the middle of this video while I grab those. But this is a full-size replica of Smith & Wesson M&P. These do not have actuating slides. They do have actuating triggers, and they are, I don't know if you can see this, never do this with the real gun, obviously, but they are lasers, so they do project a bright red laser. They come in a number of different colors, and there are a couple of different functions available for them, including trigger take-up warnings. So if a student touches the trigger, it actuates in a separate laser that's lower and sometimes a different color. This particular model doesn't have that. And as you might be able to see to the bottom, I have attached a Mantis X. This happens to be an X10, so it does both dry and live fire, but it is currently set to live fire. The great folks at Mantis X have helped me get this set up because out of the box, it doesn't recognize the shots that the gun makes as actual shots. It's relying, I believe, a little bit on sound and motion of the device because this has got some accelerometers in it that make it work. It's relying on sound and motion, and out of the box, this gun doesn't make enough noise and doesn't move around enough for it to activate the dry fire or activate the sensors inside the gun. What I'm going to do now is, if you can see on the left hand, I guess on that side of the screen, I'm going to move it around a little bit so you can see it. That side of the screen, that's a cast of the training app. So when you open up the Mantis X and attach it to the rail of your gun, you're going to turn it on. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off now so you can see what that looks like. Right? When you open up the app, you download and open the app, it's going to have just this connect screen. So you can't get to some of the stuff that you might want to do. You can get to history and some things like that. So you can see things that you've done in the past. Don't mind the shotgun pattern. That's just me trying to get the damn thing to work. But if you want to actually do a training, it says, well, you don't have a device connected. So the first thing you do is you turn on the Mantis X, and then it starts blinking. And then you click connect on the app. I'm going to move the phone over here. And then you want the gun to be on a level surface before you actually start training. If it's not on a level surface, it'll say you need to let it reset. In fact, let me see if I can make that happen. Nope, it already says it. So if it says please set the gun down on a level surface, you set the gun down. There'll be a little progress bar that goes across here that says that it's fine, and then you can pick it back up. So when the gun is properly configured, it's got a green light. Right? It's a solid green light. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm going to have to probably switch over to the live stream to see if the audio is coming through. I think I fixed it from this morning, but maybe not. If not, I'll fix it in the recording because I can do that in post. So what this app does, so the CERT gun is just a laser gun, right? You can work on fundamentals. It's got a weighted magazine. It feels like a real gun. It's got all of the sort of at least form factor, if not the full set of controls. So you've got the magazine release here. Can't do that with my left hand apparently. It's a weighted magazine. That's what gives it its heft. It doesn't actually do any of that. The sights are adjustable left and right. So when you get it out of the box the first time, sometimes you want to make sure it is. And it's basically like using a gun with a dry fire with a laser insert. When you aim it down range and actuate the trigger, the laser should go where the sights are aimed. So what the Mantis X does and adds to this is it adds some diagnostic capability to grip and finger placement and some other things. So if you guys are familiar with the target that says you're doing it wrong, and then the one that says you keep doing that thing in the center, there are diagnostic targets that actually do the same thing as what we're about to see the Mantis X do. And probably the best way to show that to you is to just start the training. So I'm going to go ahead and click Start on the app. Now hopefully you're going to be able to see that. Yeah, it looks like I've got everything there. I'm going to get into a shooting position. I'm seated, so that's a little different, right? You're going to get your good solid grip like Grant taught us to do in the class, or like Al taught you guys to do in the class, because I didn't take Al's class, I took Grant's class. Sorry, Al. You get in position, get aimed, get the good grip, put your finger on the trigger when you're ready, click it, actuate it. Hey, look, I did it right. And what that does here is it's giving me a score, and it says that that's a good shot. Now I'm going to screw it up on purpose. I'm going to put too much trigger finger on it and see if it diagnoses that. No, because I broke my wrist up. Now the interesting thing here is each of these shots will get a score. I did break my wrist up, so when I put too much in, it broke that. So it detected that. It's not 100% effective. Let's see if we can screw this up a couple other times. Too much thumb, too much trigger finger, healing, which is pushing the gun back. And each of these things, it's going to give me some diagnostic information. And if you click on it in the app, it's going to show you what that means. I'm anticipating the recoil. I wasn't really, but I was doing something that felt a lot like that. I was more likely I was healing it, so it was pulling the gun back, so I was trying to keep it steady to intentionally screw it up. And it gives you video examples. Sometimes it's just a still example. We'll see a couple of those there. I can't touch that screen. I have to touch it over here. We go back here. And each shot gets a score. And sometimes it gives a false positive because the SIRT gun's pretty sensitive. But if I get back into shooting position and let you see what I'm doing, anything over a 90 means you're doing it right. And on that last shot, I was doing that because I felt myself pull the gun back, push on it with the heel of my hand. So you go in here, and you can see healing. And it shows you what that does to the gun. So actually, let me bring the camera up just a wee bit so you can see that video. You want to keep the gun steady, obviously. When you're pushing with the heel of your hand against the back of the gun, which I apparently do a lot because I did it several times this morning in the example, it pulls the gun up and back and off-center access on off-center in the way that if you look here at, I believe that's this one, yeah, it's this one, where it's aimed, it's shooting up and to the right. So it's a lot like the diagnostic targets that we sometimes use, where we overlay on like an NRA B2 or whatever that target is, that says this is you're probably breaking your wrist, this you're anticipating the recoil, this you're pushing the gun, right? So how many times a student does this, they shoot, and then they didn't go, did it? Right? No, on that one I thought I was tightening the grip. I actually was, see if I can make it go down. I'm trying to get it to do no follow through, because that's when the guy goes, did I get it? And it's not doing it. Well, obviously this is going to screw up my whole training score, so sorry about that for me, but it's good for you. So again, you can see what does that look like. I'm pushing it forward. Yeah, I guess that could be that. And it will even do the follow-up shots. It will record them while you're looking at the video. If you want to see the video, do a shot, see if you did it right, compare it to what you're doing to try to minimize whatever that action is. No. Other mistakes, right? Because mostly I'm looking at you guys, not at the gun and not at the target. I'm doing all the things you're not supposed to do with the real gun. But that's the cert. So the certs are probably a couple $100, $230, I think. They come with one weighted magazine. Sometimes they come with cool laser reflective sunglasses so that you don't shoot yourself in the eye. The Mantis themselves are in about the $100 range. We haven't settled on a price for the club yet, but I know we sent out some, or we're about to send out some demo units to some of the chapters and some of the instructors. So that's pretty much it. It's an incredibly nifty tool. The Mantis X support people are awesome because they helped me get this set up with a little help from Mark O, who is also in the LGO, not the LGC, but he's also an LGC member, and you'll see him on our Discord chats and things like that. I believe is Legal Mark. He had been working with the CERT, the Glock version. It comes in a couple of flavors. It comes in the Smith & Wesson version, the Glock version. It thinks I'm shooting because I'm touching it. Not perfect. It comes in the Glock version, it comes in the Smith & Wesson version, and it comes in a compact version, which looks an awful lot like and fits in the same holsters as, say, the Smith & Wesson Shield. So there's a lot of different form factors. I'll do another video with all of them, because right now they're all in the other room, and I don't want to stop what I'm doing. And interestingly, I did not record this video, so this is the only copy that there's going to be, unless I can figure out how to download it from Facebook. There it goes. Good shot, because I was looking at the screen. That's funny. Oh, yeah, and I can feel it when I'm doing that gun. But I thought that was a good shot. Most of the shots are going right on the wall where I'm aiming them, so I'm pretty happy with that. I think it's a very cool app. It's a very cool training aid. You can put it on any gun with a rail. I'm going to go ahead and stop the training because that's annoying. You can use it on any gun with a rail. When they sent us the demo units, they sent it with an air pistol, and there is a setting in the app for various things. All right, so you can do live fire, you can do dry fire, or you can do CO2, and that's all based on the sensitivity of the sensors in this device. There's different guns. So there's a lot of production guns in here. You get your Sig Sauer P226, which is what I was using. It happened to be a CO2 gun in dry fire, so I set it to dry fire, and that actually worked pretty well. So any CO2 gun in dry fire should work without any question. It's the CERT guns that are a little squiffy. So hopefully they'll work on that, and we'll be able to do it. There's lots of different guns in the app, and there's lots of different settings. You set are you left-handed or right-handed? You set is it dry fire or is it live fire? The device can mount in this direction, or it can be flipped around, so you have to tell it whether the device is mounted forward or backward, and there's a diagram right there in the app. You can't see that I'm pointing at it, but I really am, I swear, as well as the other stuff. And then if you have trouble with a particular gun, like I did with this, you can send stuff to them directly through their troubleshooting app. So it's a very cool thing. A couple of you instructors are going to get it. And if you don't have a cert, I'll post some links on how to get one. If you've got the extra cash, they are worth it if you're training others. And I think they're probably worth it if you carry either a Smith & Wesson or a Glock as an additional way to do dry fire. So the certs work great all by themselves. I think they work especially great with the Mantis. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys online.